I'm so glad that you are here because I have something that I have wanted to share. After this weekend, I treated my life to 90 minutes of the most spellbinding, awe-inspiring storytelling to happen on television in a long time. I watched the Oprah and Viola Netflix special where Viola Davis and Oprah Winfrey had this very wonderful, robust, and just full conversation about Viola's life experiences. It's a preview to her memoir that she's releasing tomorrow, April 26th. But this interview, this dialogue, this conversation, for me, touched in such a deep way. It touched on a soul level. So much of her story I can relate to. She talked about her childhood and dealing with poverty, which I definitely experienced. She talked about racism in her school and bullies. I definitely can relate to. She talked about her home life and the challenges and struggles that her father and her mother dealt with, which I also can relate to so much. But what she also talked about was this life passion of hers that fed her ambitions, that made her know that somewhere she would see and find a way out, a better way. This 90 minutes was confirmation for me on so many levels, all of which I feel was just an affirmation, right? For me, just this space of deep knowing and a confidence builder that I should continue to do what I am doing, because I was filled with doubt over the weekend. And I'm telling you that her words, whether I'm thinking about the work that I do with my girls organization, Girls Like Me Project, where we help Black girls specifically navigate media literacy and understand the negative and destructive stereotypes, stigmas, and ideologies that are found in media and how they are impacted by and also influence public policy, and how they are impacted by and also influence public perception of Black girls, giving them the sense of power to tell their own stories, to harness their own ways of using media as an advocacy tool, not just for themselves, but to really foster a global sisterhood with all Black girls across the diaspora, and to also understand the power of representation. She talked so much about not seeing anything that she wanted to be. She didn't see it, so she had to find it within herself. So helping Black girls to now, that's a great thing that we don't have to do that much anymore, because there is a different level of representation, a much better level than what she was. But to be able to really find beauty in a space that everything is telling you that you're abnormal or you're not the norm, right? And then too, whether it is also dealing with the work that I do around with adult women, whether it's my coaching and consulting that I do with Black women entrepreneurs and thought leaders, or if it's writing my book, Move Beyond the Block, Transcending Habits That Are Blocking Our Shine in Life. Viola's vulnerability, her authenticity, her courage, her boldness to say all of the things she said about her hygiene problems as a child. But what I really found to be significant was the fact that she'd found at 14 her life's passion. She found this thing that she would give everything to, that she wanted to become an actress. And she was on the path to, because she went to Juilliard and all these other spaces that she went for her dream. But then when it got to be too big, too real, she almost stepped into the shadows. She almost dimmed her light and almost left her dream behind to teach. And aren't we all so glad that she did not? Aren't we all so glad that she chose the path that she chose? But what I am grateful for is stories, and that she told her story. Because one of the things that she shared is that through her work, her artistry, her acting, she's able to tap into the humanity of Black women, and she's able to liberate Black women by telling her life story through characters that she plays on television and in movies. Now, I know so many of us who are not actors or actresses and haven't won Oscars or been nominated for any Tony Awards, right? We probably don't have the aspirations of being on anybody's Broadway stage. But what we do desire is to have validation for our story. What we do know is that there's some woman right now with a business who is baking cakes, baking pies, and in those pies, there's a story. There's a story of a grandmother's recipe. There's a story of a hardship, a way that made you keep going. There are tears in those pies. There are love and loving ingredients in those pies. There's a woman who right now is a fearless and fierce attorney who has fought through many hardships, who's fought through and overcome so many challenges. So every case is not just a case that's given to you, but a case that has legions of legacy behind you. So many of us do our work with the intention of serving and liberating other Black women. But I will tell you that it is only when you tell the story behind your work, when you step out of the shadows so that people know who you are, when they know your why, when you are in fact Googleable and not hiding in the shadows, but when people can actually connect to your story, there's a deeper chance for visibility, there's a deeper opportunity for profitability. That's what I got from Viola Davis, and I'm so glad I watched, because what I was doubting this weekend was the symposium that I'm putting together, my first ever Move Beyond the Block Shadow Into Shine Symposium. This is a digital storytelling symposium with some of the most phenomenal powerhouse women in storytelling who are using platforms to elevate themselves, elevate their life mission, and to amplify Black women. And so whether or not it's that you need to do podcasting, YouTube channels, you need a commercial or PSA for your brand and your company, you need just a way to engage your followers, a way to engage your donors, a way to engage your supporters. I want to help you do that. I want to help you tell your story with the same authenticity that Viola Davis did. And so I will be in conversation with Monique Carradine Kitchens of Sisternomics, Sandria Washington of Black and Adopted Podcast, Kiana Barber of WDB Marketing, Patrice Perkins of Creative Genius Law, Alicia August Wright of Avens by August, Tiffany Michael, who is one of the most phenomenal creative funders in the city of Chicago, and myself. We are coming together to give you a phenomenal day of not why you need to tell your story. We know why, right? Everybody knows why. We are telling you what and how to do it in a way that actually positions you for visibility and profitability. So I'm going to invite you to follow the link that is in the comments and click there, register today. The price is extremely affordable, only $47. That's it. For all of this, you will walk away, I promise you, with tangible ways for you to tell your story. You will leave that day, on Thursday, able to go out into the world to tell your story, to share your story. Whether you are an author, whether you are a chef, a caterer, whether you are an events planner, whether you have your own line of custom-made hair products or hygiene products, skincare products, whatever it is you do, I promise you, your story needs to be heard. You need to come out of the shadows, sis. I think back to Lorraine Hansberry. Viola Davis obviously is an actor, and so naturally it takes me to Lorraine Hansberry. And I also think about other women like Emmett Till's mother, Mamie Till Mobley, and all of these women whose work, I think of Octavia Butler, right? All of these women whose their work is forever etched into history through their books and different things like that, their bodies of work, whether they had a business, right? Not maybe, but Madam C.J. Walker, you know, her story is cemented in contributions. However, their stories are their personal stories, right? Their personal lives are held in high esteem behind the closed doors of the Library of Congress, in the papers and the archives of Emory University and Spelman University and all these universities and the Smithsonian and the National African American History Museum. All of these places are hosting and housing this legacy, this body of work. And I'm saying that each of us has a legacy and a body of work, our story of why, our story of how, our story of our moments when we could have said, turned away and hid in shadows, and our moments when we decided to go into the light and shine. And so I'm inviting you to come with me and join us on Thursday, April 28th for an online symposium that I promise you will be just as spellbounding as the Oprah and Viola story. I promise you. So please join us, register in the link in the comments, and this will be a day and a moment that you will definitely build upon. It's something you'll build a legacy upon, I promise. See you then. Bye-bye.